Afternoon, everybody. We'll have Max Fried shortly after Aaron, who has the first question. Gary, to the left.
Aaron, did you know that Marcus wasn't going to be here for these workout days, and is that something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, I had an idea when we talked. I knew he might be out the first couple days, but nothing changed with, what I said to you guys about how I feel like where he's at mentally, physically. I certainly get how it all looks with the noise around it this winter, and but the reality is this is something that is under CBA. Guys have this, and you see it over time periodically, but I certainly understand, the look around it and on obviously the story around it. But I do feel like, and I've even had communication with him, last night, this morning, that he is ready to go, mentally and physically, and hopefully be here in the next couple days.
Did he explain to you his reasoning at all for not coming these first?
I'm not going to speak for him. I'd rather, you can ask him the reasons. I certainly, I want him here, obviously, but we also have to respect the rules that are set up, and that this, is at their disposal sometimes.
Eric.
Aaron, last year when he came in and there really wasn't a lot of the noise that you referenced, he was here at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Is it disappointing to you that something changed in that regard?
I mean, obviously I want all our players here, clearly. That said, I am, again, comfortable with where he's at physically, mentally. He's a prideful player. He's a guy that's had a great career where, it's a little bit of an awkward situation, obviously. So, of course, I want him here, and trying to keep nudging him to get here. But, again, you also have to respect the fact that this is something that players are allowed to do. There is a mandatory date, and he's choosing that right now.
Brendan.
Do you get any impression that this could be dissatisfaction with the organization, that this could be dissatisfaction with the position that he's in right now?
I don't sense that. Look, again, I would go to, this is a guy that's been an outstanding pitcher in this league for a long time with a lot of pride. But no, I don't feel any animus between he and I, and I'm confident and comfortable that he's ready to come in here and to do his job at a high level.
Sorry, Ann. Eric has the mic.
So you're sitting up here having to answer questions about it. It's a story today. All the things that you mentioned, it becomes like how it looks and the noise.
Sure.
Did you get the chance to advise him of whether this was worth it, whether this was a good idea for these couple of days?
I mean, we had a very good conversation, and I certainly wanted him here, but you also have to respect the rules of the game too, and the person. And my biggest focus is on making sure that, especially because he's within his rights, he's within his rules, is to make sure, he's in the best place mentally and physically, and getting ready to pitch at the highest level possible. So that's where my focus lies right now.
Did he ask for your opinion of whether this was going to be a good idea to stick away? Did you have the chance to give your feedback on that?
We had a good conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to pass it to Greg, if you don't mind.
You talk about getting him ready to pitch. Is he throwing bullpens away from here, wherever he is?
He has, yeah. He's, I feel like he's pretty built up. We'll see exactly, how far. But, yeah, we know he's been, that's been one of his calling cards throughout his career, is his physical fitness and his, how much he pours into his craft, and he's been absolutely doing that. So I feel like that's why I'm comfortable physically, mentally, that he's going to be ready to come in and do his thing. But obviously you want to get hands on him as soon as possible and be there and support in the way you can.
And is this something you had to address with the team, that you wouldn't be around?
I have not.
Can you pass it right behind you, Pete and Chris?
Aaron, do you know when you anticipate Stroman being in camp? Or
I do, but I want him to get here, and then we'll go from there.
And do you have any concern about how it does play in that room? with him making the decision he did?
Pay attention to it. But Stroh's a guy that, was an integral part of not only between the lines, but in the room last year. And I think built some really strong relationships in that room that he's earned. And hopefully that continues and is the carrying thing with the way he goes about things. So we'll address things as we need to.
Chris, to the left.
I think it's been written by basically everybody in this room that you guys are looking to possibly trade Marcus. Have you expressed to him that you're not trying to trade him, and has he expressed that this is a place that he wants to be this season?
I have not expressed that to him because I don't know that that's, the reality. There's always rumors, false, true, and frankly, that's usually above me anyway until something is real. So, no, we didn't even get into that at all, other than to acknowledge, that it's, there's been obviously the noise and the situation that he walks into and having 6, 7, 8 starters, all that. So biggest thing is he's ready to compete. Yeah, he said I'm in a good spot. I'm ready to come, and I'll be there soon.
Who else? Brendan.
How's Rizman?
Good. Obviously, a scary day yesterday. Spent the night in the hospital. He came in here today in good spirits, so I got to see him. I talked to him a couple times yesterday. Seemed like he really started to turn a corner in a good way late in the afternoon, and then was good when I touched base with him in the evening, and it looked really good, and hopefully out of the woods, today discharged and came and hung out a little bit. So obviously, a scary situation. We talk about that, and but happy to report he's doing well.
Greg.
What was your reaction to Alex Bregman joining the division and being someone that you guys will have to handle a little bit more often
Yeah,
this year?
Sox got a good player. Obviously, they've had what looks like a really good winter. We saw a lot of the, their talent and their athleticism last year. So it feels like, just looking from afar here in February, it looks like they're putting together a really, really strong team.
Back right.
Garrett talked yesterday about the impression of Max Fried and the fact that he's a physical talent, but also up here has so much intelligence. Have you seen that, Aaron, and just cite some examples of that?
I guess what's been exciting for me is to see how engaging he's been. And I go back to our first Zoom call we had with him when we were recruiting him. I didn't really know him at all, and he's been really pliable. He's been really open to a lot of different things since he got over to Himes, a couple weeks ago. He's made it a point to really, you can tell, engage and interact with his teammates and get to know everyone. It's been how you hope a big free agent acquisition coming in. I feel like he seems happy and comfortable, and certainly the talent certainly shows.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Aaron. Max Fried will be here in the next 5 minutes.